Hey everybody, Brooke Sann here today. Okay, please don't forget to like and subscribe this channel so you can keep seeing more videos coming because we got a lot of excitement coming this way. So I want to start with talking to the clients that don't know where to start in a relationship. We are in this place where we're angry at each other, we're yelling at each other, we're fighting constantly, we don't know what to do, we don't know where to turn, we don't even know where to start. So here you are. You are starting here. This is where you are. Okay, the first thing I want you to really understand is that this is a hard one for people to grasp, but you are in charge of your emotions and he is in charge of his emotions. This is something that is not taught in school, not taught in home. People don't understand that we create our own emotions. We're mad because of what we are thinking. He's mad because of what he's thinking. It does not serve us to think about what he is thinking about. It does not serve us to notice when he's happy, when he's sad, when he's mad, when he's scared, when he's frustrated. That doesn't serve us. That doesn't help us empower ourselves to feel what we want to feel. We are so interconnected on what they're thinking and what they're feeling and what they're doing. It's like, have you ever seen a dog who's scared? Like, let's say there's a dog, for my dog lovers, and like a new dog comes in. So the dog's like looking out of the corner of his eye constantly. Like we're always noticing like where that other dog is because we're scared. That's how it is in a relationship when there's anger and frustration, right? We as the women are always looking out of the corner of our eye, like what's our husband gonna do next? Where is he? Who's he talking to? Is he mad? Is he sad? What's he gonna do? Is he gonna throw something? Is he gonna yell at me? Like we're constantly like so focused on what they're doing. That's because our brain's trying to keep us safe. It's trying to keep us in a place where we're avoiding that negative emotion. We're ready to run. Like the side eye glance, like always noticing where they are and what they're doing. That's our brain being ready to fight or flee, right? Like it's ready to go. Okay. So I want you to just take a moment and kind of laugh about that, right? Like, you know you're doing it. I know you're doing it. We all know, right? Like, okay, my brain is so focused on what the husband is doing because it's trying to keep me safe. If you hear my son banging in the background, he's making a chair in the garage. Sorry. Anyways, okay, so we know that we are in charge of our own emotions. This is something that you've never understood before. This is such a foreign concept, but I just want you to take my word for it. I promise you. So let's focus on what we're feeling. What is it that you're deeply, deeply feeling? A lot of times we layer emotions, right? So I would think a lot of the clients I work with in relationship coaching, the core issue, the like deep down, the middle of the onion, a lot of time it is either grief or disappointment. We're grieving the relationship we thought we were going to have. Or we're disappointed that we're where we are. Like, I'm not the couple that goes and gets a life coach, hires a life coach for help. I'm not the couple that fights all the time and that is thinking about divorce even. That's not who I wanted to be. That's not where I wanted to be. So sometimes there's some shame, some disappointment, some fear, right? Like what's going to happen next? Like all of this is kind of the core issue. And then we have lots of layering emotions on top of that. That's when the shame comes in. That's when the embarrassment comes in. That's when even anger, right? Like anger is normally a secondary emotion. So first we're feeling hurt. Like we're hurt that the husband did this, that, and the other thing. Or we're hurt that, it's painful, right? Heartbreak, divorce, like these thoughts are very painful for us. So let's think about if you could label one emotion you're feeling right now, what would it be? Just write it down, describe it, because what an emotion does, an emotion comes from a thought in our brain and it tells our body what to feel, right? So we think a thought, it causes an emotion, and that emotion is in a vibration in our body. That's where we feel joy. That's where we feel anger. That's where we feel disappointment or excitement or whatever. So label the emotion you're feeling and tell me, how does it feel in your body? Describe it. Where does this anger feel? A lot of times for me, it's a heaviness on my chest. Anger, I'm talking about. Anger is a heaviness in my chest. And I really feel like this energy from my toes up to my nose. Like it's just like this, like I'm ready to like fight. Like I'm just so mad, right? Like that's where I feel the anger. Now it might be different for other people, right? You might feel like tingling in your fingers, or you might feel a hot head, or you might feel, I'm trying to think of how other people have described anger in their body. You might feel this energy like in your stomach, right? Like it's different for everybody. So let's label what we're feeling and take emotion and take initiative and take ownership of these emotions, right? Let's just be here in that energy, be here in that emotion. I'll tell you why we want to do this. Because if we don't learn to allow our emotions, if we don't learn how to feel them, we do other things that have a huge net negative effect on our life. That's why alcoholics come to be. That's why we become overweight. That's why we are in financial burden, because we're overspending, right? So if we don't allow it, we're going to avoid the emotion. We're going to react to the emotion. We're going to resist the emotion, right? And that's when we call it, in life coaching, we call it buffering. When we're buffering, we're trying to avoid feeling something, and we're trying to seek that pleasure. We're trying to find that false pleasure, right? That's why we go shopping. That's why we eat the chocolate. That's why we drink the wine. That's why we spend the money. That's why we overwork, right? So it's our way of coping. We have all these emotions and we're trying to cope. And what it's causing us is bad things, right? Like I said, we're now financially in ruin. We've overspent. We bought all the clothes because we feel all these emotions and we don't know what to do, and we don't know how to cope. And we're overeating, we're gaining weight, right? So it has this huge domino effect because we haven't learned how to deal with the one vibration in our body, that core issue, that core emotion, right? Like we or confusion. I never mentioned confusion. Confusion's my favorite. This I don't know scenario, like I don't know what to do. I don't know. How do we fix this marriage? I don't know. Right? So that keeps us in a place of like being stuck, where we're just like, there's no momentum forward for sure. We might be stuck in this place, or even worse, we start falling backwards, right? We start falling into old habits and things that don't serve us. Okay. That, my friends, those two little steps, right? Finding out what our emotion is and kind of getting back to that core issue, those are the things we need to do to be able to move forward. This is where you start. I would also add to hire an amazing life coach. This is where things begin to change, right? We have some tools. Life coaches help us see what's happening in our brain and help us explore those thoughts and explore those emotions. We gain these amazing tools to be able to take on life. Because guess what? If it wasn't your relationship, it would be something else, right? Like life is hard. We need someone to be able to just give us a couple little tools to be able to take on this life that we want to live. So please like and subscribe. I also have a one-on-one coaching program, 20 weeks, 5 months, changes your life. It comes with a guarantee. So if you don't get it, if you don't have those results or those shifts in your thinking, I will give you your money back. Who doesn't want that? Hello? Okay, my friends, I'll see you next week. Enjoy.